Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is No Soundbites Allowed, and I am your host, Michael Voss, Dragon of the Southern Tier. I'm happy to be here with you today. And we're going to be talking about something, well, you've heard about it, but you haven't heard about it. There's been a change. You heard about how the Biden administration, through the American Families Plan, wants to give access to your bank account to the IRS. If you have over $600 in a bank account, if you have it in a credit card, in a savings account, in the as an investment, they were going to let the IRS have access to all of that information on every transaction you make. That's changed now. Yes. And you're safe. Or are you? Let's actually look into that a little bit. I know there's going to be some numbers, but it's important. Stick with me on this. Now, if this is the first time that you are seeing the channel, though, we do want to say thank you and welcome. We're happy to have you here with us. We want you to know that we do long-form political commentary. And every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do a live stream with you. We go on social media, everywhere that the internet overlords will allow, to be able to have you speak to us through your text, your chats, and your phone calls from anywhere in the world. Because we believe in the First Amendment. We believe in your inalienable right to be able to speak. Even if your government doesn't believe in that, even if the internet overlords try and silence it, we, every Sunday, try to speak with you. So we hope to see you every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to join us in our live stream. So now I want to get into the nitty-gritty here. You've already heard about this. We've already covered this on the channel. We were one of the first ones to talk about this, that the IRS, under the American Families Plan from the Biden administration, would be given the authorization to be able to go into your account. They were going to hire thousands of new IRS agents whose only job was to go into your bank account and to watch you spend your money and to see what you spent your money on, and to find a way to be able to take more taxes out of your money every time you spent it. Obviously, that was a bad idea, and they thought no one would notice it. It's part of that $3.5 trillion American Families Plan that they're trying to shove through Congress, and no one is happy about this. And in fact, they got so much of a negative feedback that the Democrats said, oh no, wait. We have to change this. On October 19th, they came out and they said, no, we're doing something. You misunderstand. We're only after the greedy, evil, rich, small business owners and the large business owners and all those evil billionaires, because there's so many of them. They have so much money. That's why they're going to change it, and they want to go after a different amount of money. And they're telling you that you're safe. Your account is safe. But is it really? Now, let me just go over this a little bit for you, because what they have said is they're only going to go after an account that has $10,000 in it. That's right. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't have $10,000 just sitting in cash in a bank account. I don't have $10,000 sitting in my investments just waiting for me to do something with it. Although you might, especially if you're thinking about your retirement, because that would be an account, a financial account that they would have access to. No, let me get into this, because you probably have more money going in and out of your account than you think you do. And the IRS is going to go after it. And they're going to go after all your private information. They really haven't changed anything. So let's backtrack a little bit. Go back to October 19th real quick. And what you're going to see is this is the Republicans. They came out and they responded to what the Democrats had offered.
I want to hit a couple of things. I know that in response to the concerns we've already been raising, there has been a suggestion that, well, we'll fix that by changing the income limit from $600, or the trigger from $600 to $10,000. I just want to read to you what the average American runs through their account in the United States during a year. This is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The total is the average American runs over $61,000 through their account on housing, $20,000, transportation, $9,000, personal insurance, and et cetera, $7,000. The list goes on. Healthcare, groceries, restaurants, entertainment, cash contributions, apparel, clothing, education, personal care. The average American runs $61,000 through their account.
Okay, stop right there. Wait a minute, $61,000? I don't even make $61,000 a year. That's what you're probably saying to me right now. You're saying, this doesn't apply to me. That's someone who's rich, or at least richer than me. Well, you probably make more money in your account. You have more money going through your bank account than you think. Now, I want to be very clear on this because there's some confusion here. And as reported by Reuters, the Democrats raised the proposed IRS bank reporting threshold from $600 to $10,000. That was on October 19th at 7:30 in the evening. A little bit late, but they decided to put that out there because they're only after the greedy people. Don't you believe that? They're after you. They're after your private information. They want to know what you're doing. So when you look through the story from Reuters, well, it's these the requirements for banks to report daily aggregate cash transactions of $10,000 or more are already under the anti-money laundering rules. And that's what Democrats have come out. We've already got that permission. This is something that banks do already. But there's something different in what they're saying there. That's any daily transactions. That's a one-time payment. You win the lottery, the bank's going to the lottery is going to notify the IRS. If you go to a casino, you win over $10,000, you're going to be having the IRS notified. In fact, they're in the casino and they're going to, as soon as you cash in, they're going to be right there to take their money. No, we're talking about something completely different here. And this is where they're trying to confuse people because they want to sound like they're being very, very nice. They aren't. And they're not letting you away and get out of this. They have found a better way. They're using math. They're trying to confuse you. Just like Common Core, they're trying to jumble the numbers so you don't really understand what's going on. Let me explain. As reported by Reuters, the proposal does not identify individual transactions, but gross annual inflows and outflows to help the IRS identify where wealthy taxpayers who do not rely on a regular W-2 wage income may be hiding opaque sources of business or investment income. Okay, so not W-2s, not your weekly check. That's not going to trigger it. But wait a minute, what is going to trigger it? Let's think about this for a second, because they're saying they're going to get $7 trillion out of this. So what is triggering it? Well, in a new statement on tax compliance proposals, the Treasury said the financial accounts with money flowing in and out that total less than $10,000, they're fine. No one's going to pay attention to it. The new thousands of IRS agents aren't going to be necessary. Further, when computing this threshold, the new tailored proposal carves out wage and salary earners and federal program beneficiaries such that only those accruing other forms of income in opaque ways are part of the reporting regime. The department also said that financial services could report the total aggregate in inflows and outflows rounded off by thousands. So what does that mean for you? See, the key word here that they keep repeating these keywords. And the key thing they keep saying is money flowing in and out. So it's money that you're using. It's money coming into your pocket. It's money going out of your pocket. And they're not going to count your check. See, that's safe. So you get a check. They're not going to count that. But they will count the money going out of the account. And they will count any money coming into your account. That's not your check. They said it themselves. This is how they get around that. And this doesn't count your investments. It doesn't take into account your credit cards. It doesn't take into account anything else you're doing. See, that's how they get around this. Now you say, well, Mike, that's $10,000. That's way too much. Okay, I made the math real simple. It's $833 a month. The number isn't so large now. I know they use $10,000 because it sounds so huge. It's a big number. No, it's not. It's $833. I know people are saying, Mike, still, I don't have $833 in my bank account all the time. No, you don't. See, you get paid your check and then you spend the money. You buy groceries, you buy movie tickets, video games, you go out and eat dinner, you buy groceries, you pay for gas, you fix your car. What do these things kind of cost? Have you ever thought about that? Did you know that the average person spends $123.88 on their credit card bill? $123.88. And that's if you're on the average. That's if you're getting an interest rate from your credit card company of 14.87%, which most people aren't. Most people are paying a lot more than that. A lot of people are paying somewhere closer to 23%. But let's say that you're just at that, and you're making the absolute minimum payment, and you only owe the average amount of money on your credit cards, which is $6,194. So you're paying $123. Let's think about that for a second. That's over $1,476 just on that. So that $10,000 suddenly got a lot smaller. That's not exactly right, because I use my credit card. If you know, like a lot of my friends, you use your credit card maybe to buy groceries every so often. You use your credit card because you want the air miles. You want the miles, you want the special bonus, you want the cash back because you pay attention to the commercials and they're going to pay you 1%, 2%, 3% back on your credit card. So you use it for buying gas. You use it for all these different transactions. Well, guess what? That counts. The IRS counts that because that's not your check. That's not your salary. That's other spending. So they're able to get in there. And that $1,400 you just spent on doing nothing but paying your credit card bill, just keeping the minimum balance going, yeah, that's going to count. How about this? If you're the average person and you're using your credit card for cash back, and you're using your credit card, or even you're using your debit card, because that counts too, and you're the average person, 2 adults, an average grocery budget is $938.50. By the way, all the links to all the sources I'm using for the averages will be in the description so you can look at it for yourself and see where you fall on the list. Because a lot of people spend a lot more money than just that. But let's say you're at $938 a month for grocery, just for paying for food. Okay. And I want you to know that that number actually turns out to $11,256 a year. If you're just the average, 2 people, 2 adults, just eating food, regular, not crazy amount of food, just regular, normal eating, $938 a month, $11,256 a year. You've already hit the number for the IRS. Remember, it's money coming in and money going out. They're not counting your check, but they are counting the way you spend your money. So, yeah, you've already hit it. $11,000, that's your food. But maybe you don't spend as much on food somehow. Maybe you grow your own groceries, you do something else. Okay, let's take that into account. You have an IRA, you have an investment, you've been working at your job, you have your IRA, it takes money out of your account on a regular basis, you have investments. Well, if you're the average person in America, and that's about 52% of America, you own stocks. You own an IRA. You probably have a mutual fund. Guess what? That's a separate bank account, and if that has over $10,000 in it, the IRS can look into your bank accounts. If you are retired and you're drawing money out of your IRA account, out of your retirement funds, and you're taking that money in, well, then that's over $10,000. The IRS can go into your bank accounts. They can go into your investment account. They can go into your credit card, and they can look at every transaction you're doing. Yeah, that counts too. Again, what they said is money coming in. They said money coming in and money coming out that totals $10,000, period. So yeah, you still hit the number. You still count. But wait a minute. You're going to say to me, but Mike, I don't have an IRA. Okay, you're a 20-something. Fantastic. You pay your rent with a credit card? Heck, you even pay your rent. If you're the average person in America, if you're at the average, which means you live in Georgia, you're paying about $997 a month in rent. If you happen to be in, like me, in New York State, thank God I own my house. The average rent in New York State is $1,280. But let's go with the average in the nation. That's $997. And you're paying that. That's $11,964. Guess what? You just hit the number again. You just hit it again. Again, the IRS now has the right to go into your bank account to see everything you're doing. That's money coming in, money going out. They're not counting your check, but they are counting what you're spending the money on. And you just hit the number again. But let me guess. Let me see. You're going to say, well, Mike, I'm just a single person and I'm living with a couple of roommates. And so I'm not paying the full $1,000 a month. I'm not paying for all the food. Let's cut those numbers down a little bit. Well, guess what? You cut them both in half. That's $6,000 and $6,000. That's still $12,000. You still hit the number. That's when you're sharing food. That's when you're having roommates. You still hit $12,000 a year. And that's not counting your credit card bills. That's not counting going out to have drinks with your friends. That's not counting you have the season pass for whatever video game you like to play. It's not counting going out to the movies, paying for your Netflix, your Hulu, or whatever streaming service you have. That's not paying for the internet that you use. And again, they said money coming in and money going out. And it has to hit $10,000 in total. So they're playing a little bit of a game. But wait a minute, what if you're like, there's about 30 million people that have cryptocurrencies. A lot of them are younger. So all the people who are 20 and they're saying, I live with 3 of my buddies, I'm in college and I eat at the college. And so I don't spend the money. So I'm not in that. They're not going into my bank account, but you own crypto, don't you? A lot of younger people do. 30 million people in the United States own crypto. In fact, we've seen people who've taken over at Reddit, they've polled, and it's a surprising number. About 54% out of 4,000 people who responded to a question, 54% of them had $10,000 or less. Well, if you have even $5,000 in crypto and you pay rent and you buy food and you go out and drink beer or you play a video game or you pay for Hulu and you pay for your cell phone, well, there you go. You've hit the number again. Again, you're there. And I haven't even looked at all the bills because remember, I didn't even mention electricity. I didn't mention heating. I didn't mention gas for your car, fixing your car. I haven't mentioned your cell phone. Start adding these things up. And I know that there's, as reported by the Motley Fool, there are, well, they're saying it's roughly 21 million. Some numbers say 30 million. Roughly about 10%, 14% of Americans, of adults, have crypto. And they're going to be having another 50 million join them. We're talking about 60, 70 million Americans before the end of 2021 will own crypto. And some of them are going to be like a friend of mine. I had a friend of mine back in January, I believe it was, or late January, February. He told me about crypto. And he told me about Dogecoin. You know Dogecoin. Everybody knows about Dogecoin. He was able to buy it at 3 cents a share. He told me about it, it was 6 cents a share. I didn't buy it. My own fault. But it jumped. And today, right this second, it's about 23 cents a share. It's been higher. But my friend, who just bought about 1,000 shares just because it was cheap, because he could. You know what? He has, well, not 1,000 shares, $1,000 worth. And now he has an investment that's worth like $20,000. Guess what? The IRS has access to that bank account, to that crypto account. And he moves that money anywhere, everywhere that money touches, the IRS can go in there. And now they can see every transaction you have done. So I'm just showing you a bunch of ways that they've been able to do this. And if you're thinking, Mike, yeah, 61,000, that's about $5,000 a month. I don't do that. Well, maybe as a family you do. As you individually, you may not. You may be doing about $1,000. You and your wife, your kids, it all adds up and it all combines. And that's the really scary thing. It's all the money coming in and out. No, they're not going to count your check, but they are going to count what you spend on it. I keep saying that because I want you to get this, that the Democrats haven't done anything good for you. They haven't made this better. The American Family Plan is still a horrible plan. It's still allowing the government to come in. That's why they're still hiring tens of thousands of people. There aren't tens of thousands of billionaires. There aren't tens of thousands of millionaires in the United States. They don't need that many people. They're hiring tens of thousands of people because they're going after you. Whether you're a small business owner, and I know small business owners use their credit cards to pay the bills in the business on a regular basis. And most small businesses have under 500 people. Most of them have under 100 people. You definitely use credit cards, 1 or 2 or 3 of them, to pay all the bills as you go through the month to make ends meet. Yeah, so those small business owners, you're going to get slammed. They're going after everything that you've done. They're going to go after every transaction you make. The Democrats are not doing you any favors. Even if you're poor, they're going into your bank account. They just changed the way that they're saying it. They just changed the way that they dress this up. $600 sounded really, really bad. So now they say $10,000. So it sounds okay. It sounds like someone rich. Until they forget to mention the words total, in, and out. And then when you add that in, it suddenly changes. It's no longer about rich people. It's about the average American. It's about the middle class. It's even about some poor people. It's about the IRS, about breaking the Fourth Amendment, about going into your life and finding out everything that you do. And if they don't like what you're doing, they're going to punish you. Just like Lois Lerner did. You remember that during the Obama administration. You know, the Obama administration, when they had no scandals whatsoever, but they did have Lois Lerner and the IRS targeting conservatives. Because there are people in the IRS, and maybe some of the people they're going to be hiring under the Biden administration, that happen to be progressives, that happen to not like conservatives. They don't like Republicans. Maybe they don't like the movies that you watch. Maybe they don't like the TV shows you watch or the channels that you watch in your streaming service. They don't like the video game you bought or that music concert you went to. Yeah. This is the kind of access that the IRS is going to have. And once you hit that 10,000 trigger in a year on the total of what you take in and what you put out, you know, when you won money from that poker game, your mom sent you a birthday gift, all of that's adding up. You got married. You bought a house. You fixed the house. You got kids. You pay for a school trip. You pay for school. Yeah, all of that adds up. And when they put that together and they say, oh, you've made it over $10,000, now we can go back retroactively and look at every transaction you have made. See, they didn't change anything. They're still going to look at every transaction you did. But instead of doing it when you hit $600, they're going to wait till you hit $10,000. And you're going to hit $10,000. The overwhelming majority of Americans are going to hit $10,000 because we spend money. You don't have to be rich. The average person is going to spend easily over $2,000 a month. That's food, paying your rent, paying your cell phone, paying for your streaming service, maybe a night or two out. Yeah, you're going to hit $2,000 easy. The electricity. So, and that's not counting the inflation, which is making things cost more. So it's even more expensive for the gasoline, to get the burgers, to get the steak, to get food in general. Everything's costing more. The electricity is going up because it's more expensive now. Thank you, Joe Biden, for yet another thing that's going to cost money. So when you add all this up, you come up to the same solution. The Democrats haven't changed anything. They haven't done anything different. They're still breaking your Fourth Amendment right to privacy. They're still invading your life. They're still going to see everything you do. And they're still hiring thousands of IRS agents to be able to get into your bank account. As soon as that American Families Plan goes through, the IRS is going to have a heyday looking at everything you did. And then they're going to turn around and say, oh, we didn't know. We had no idea this would happen. We were trying to get the rich people. And instead, they're going to get you. Maybe you think my math is wrong. Maybe you think the math that we saw from the Republicans when they went through it, maybe you think it's wrong. Maybe you think that the Democrats, the progressives who are pushing this bill, maybe you think, well, they're not going to go after you because they're going to look at your account and go, well, you're not rich, so they're not going to bother you. Maybe you have that much trust and faith in the government. Maybe you have that much trust and faith in the IRS. I don't. I don't think most people do. But hey, I look forward to hearing your comments, your thoughts. Tell me what you think about this. Did you know that they changed the numbers? Did you think that when they made it $10,000, you were safe? Do you still feel safe? I look forward to seeing your comments. And we do thank you for joining us today. We want you to drop on by every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from anywhere in the world to speak with us and to join us as we do a live stream, listening to your thoughts about all the issues that matter and are affecting us all across the globe. You guys make it all worthwhile. We want to thank you, and we hope you're going to have a great day.